Ethan and Maya were experienced hikers, always seeking remote wilderness adventures. Their latest trek took them deep into the Appalachian Mountains, where they planned a 4-day journey through dense, untouched forest. The first 2 days were peaceful, filled with crisp mountain air and quiet solitude. On the 3rd day, the atmosphere changed. The usual sounds of the forest, birds, insects, rustling leaves, vanished. The silence was unnatural. Maya pointed it out, but Ethan brushed it off, chalking it up to exhaustion. As they followed an old, unmarked trail, they came across a weathered wooden signpost, its words long faded. Their map showed no records of a trail here, but curiosity pushed them forward. Near sunset, they stumbled upon an abandoned campsite. A fire pit sat in the center, but no ashes remained. A torn, tattered tent stood nearby, its fabric shredded. Scattered belongings lay around as if someone had fled in a hurry. Maya found a dirt-covered notebook near the fire pit. The pages were filled with frantic scribbles. One passage stood out. "They watch at sundown. Don't look. Don't listen. Don't run." A cold wind rustled the trees. They both felt it, that unmistakable sensation of being watched. Uneasy, they decided to turn back. As the last rays of sunlight disappeared, they heard it. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, trailing them through the trees. Then came the whispers. Soft, unintelligible voices that seemed to come from every direction. Panic set in. They quickened their pace, but the forest itself seemed to shift. The familiar path they had taken earlier now led somewhere unfamiliar. Ethan pulled out his compass, but the needle spun wildly. The path had changed. A sudden snap, a branch breaking behind them. Neither turned, but both felt the presence closing in. Maya whispered, "We have to run." They sprinted through the forest, dodging roots and branches. The whispers grew louder, like laughter. Then they saw it, a figure, impossibly tall and thin, standing just beyond their headlamps. Its head tilted unnaturally, studying them. Then it moved, not walking but shifting, appearing closer in an instant. Maya screamed. Ethan grabbed her arm, dragging her forward. They ran until they saw the river, their only landmark back to camp. Crashing through the water, they reached the opposite bank. Silence. The whispers stopped. The air was normal again. Shaking, they packed their gear and hiked through the night, reaching their car by dawn. As they pulled away, Maya glanced back. Beyond the trees, barely visible in the morning light, stood a single weathered wooden signpost. No words, just watching. They never returned.